This is the last topic in this particular unit, and it is called as diabetes mellitus. Diabetes means to pass, to release from the body. Mellitus means sweet. So together, actually, we are looking at a hyperglycemic condition. So diabetes mellitus is a group of disorder resulting due to improper function of insulin. Now we are not saying improper function of pancreas, because pancreas also release other hormones. They release exocrine secretion for digestion, and endocrine they also have glucagon. But diabetes mellitus is not affected by the exocrine secretion or glucagon. It is affected only by insulin. Thus, we call it as a group of uh, diseases that result due to improper functioning of insulin. So we have what is called diabetes mellitus. That is basically sweet urine. To pass sweet urine means blood glucose or blood sugar can be detected in the urine. That is how it means. It's a very common disease. One among 4 people have it. There are 3 categories of diabetes mellitus. The first one we call it as the diabetes type 1. Diabetes type 1 is an autoimmune disease. Now, autoimmune disease means our own immunity system attack our cells. That is, we have immune cells, immunity cells like T cells, B cells. So these cells, instead they of attacking the foreign, the normal thing is that T cell, for example, should be attacking the foreign material, foreign pathogens. But what here they misbehave and then start attacking our own cells. So our own cells, once they attack and destroy, they do not function properly. That is what we call by autoimmune disease. Okay. Now, this diabetes type 1 is commonly seen in those people who are genetically disposed to it. That means they have genes to create an autoimmune disease. They have genetically that gene in them. It does not mean that they are born with diabetes. It is only meaning that they have a very high chance of that gene turning into an autoimmune disease. So usually if this is seen among in the family members, like mother has it, grandmother has it, then we are also having the gene. So our chances of getting this is very high if the gene gets triggered. And commonly, the gene gets triggered or activated by environmental factors. Environmental factors can be long term exposure to any toxicant. It can be sometimes virus which will act on the gene and activate the gene. It can also be lifestyle, obesity, many things. Okay, it varies. Environmental factor varies. So environmental factor will trigger the gene along the lifespan, and then the person will get diabetes type 1. So what we are seeing here is environmental factor triggering the gene, and the gene in such a way that we the body produces T cell, but this T cell will attack body's own beta cells. It will attack the beta cells of the pancreas. So autoimmune. If beta cell is destroyed, there will not be any insulin produced. So result of which is that from the blood, glucose will not be taken up, because we had seen earlier that glucose, for the glucose to be taken into the cell, you require insulin binding to the receptor. Now here insulin is not produced, or it is produced very low. So in that way, glucose will not be taken up into the cells. So glucose level in the blood will be very high. That is hyperglycemia. It does not mean that we have eaten a lot of carbohydrate. It's just that it is not getting picked up. And now when the cells do not get glucose, as glucose is required for the metabolism, it is required for producing energy by mitochondria. When the cells don't get glucose in of our body, they undergo what is called as glucose starvation. When our body cells undergo glucose starvation, it will trigger the liver. Liver is where the glucose is stored. So it will trigger the liver to start breaking down glycogen. Okay, it will start breaking down glycogen. It has become foggy here. So glycogen starts broken and glucose will be released out into the blood supply. Okay, it will be released into the blood supply. Again, the point is this glucose also will not be able to take by the body. But liver doesn't understand that. Liver only understands that the cells have undergone starvation. So it does what? It releases breaks the glycogen and release glucose. And this glucose again will add to the hyperglycemia, will make it more, the level further increased. Plus fat cell, which also has a storage of glucose. The fat cells will break down and release free fatty acid in response to cell starvation. So breakdown of the fat cell leads to weight loss. So a person with DM1 will show weight loss. Because the cells are always starved, they will be fat. There will be fatigue, body will feel weak, body will feel lethargic. And as you know, glucose is keeping on accumulating in the blood. One, from the food. Second, from the liver, not getting utilized. It's only adding into the blood. This large concentration of the glucose will lead to glucose going in the urine. The glucose is so high in the blood that when blood is filtrated to form urine, glucose also enter the urine filtrate. And then glucose appears in the urine, and that is what we call as glucose urea. Okay. Plus, glucose has a property of taking up what you call as moving with water. So when glucose is passed through urine, it will take a lot of water also with it. So urine will be diluted because of glucose. And that's why the person will keep on feeling thirst, frequent thirst. So these are some of the reasons, not some of the, these are the reasons and some of the symptoms of diabetes mellitus type 1.